Today on 10 Minute IT Gems, we're joined by Alex Tilley, who is the head of threat intelligence for Asia Pacific and Japan at Secureworks. Secureworks is a leader in cybersecurity, providing best-in-class cybersecurity solutions and threat intelligence that reduces risk, optimizes IT and security investments, and fills security team talent gaps. Alex joins us today to tell us more about Secureworks and what Secureworks' solutions are for the security threats of today. Thank you for coming along, Alex, and welcome to the Jam.
Thanks for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
You're very welcome. All right, well, let's jump straight into it. For a business that hasn't worked with Secureworks before, what are your key products and services?
Yeah, so Secureworks as a whole, basically we're a pure security company. That's all we do. So our major offerings are our managed XDR, which basically means that we can add value and, as you said, fill the gaps in your own talent pool, where we can add our expertise to help you detect and respond to the threats, basically is what we do. And we've got, 4,500-ish clients globally, and we do this all over the world. So what happens to a bank in Switzerland today could help to protect a small business in New Zealand tomorrow.
Now, how has the email threat changed over time, and what are the common attacks associated with email?
Yeah, so when I started back in 1956, I think it was a long time ago, when I started was the advent of sort of dumb phishing attacks. And, like phishing where we would have emails purportedly come from your bank, but that have the wrong bank logo or that have bad English or all kinds of, things like that. And people fell for them then. And that email attack has grown where we're still seeing it make up for, the lion's share of the initial way that attackers get into networks. So email-borne attacks still work, and they're kind of hard to detect and defend against, because even if we put in all the wrappers that we can around them, the bad guy just has to change a few letters, a few words, a few URLs, that sort of stuff. So, and if you think about it, it's around that first 2 to 3 hours, where it takes a bit of time for someone to say, hey, this email's bad, add it to a detection engine, and then get it detected and blocked. That's that golden point where the bad guys tend to sort of slot themselves in rather than waiting days or weeks.
Now, how can the security culture of an organization influence those outcomes?
Yeah, security culture is a really big one. And I think especially with email-borne attacks, if we take something like business email compromise, right? So business email compromise is a really umbrella term for attacks, basically meaning to, in the end, change where money gets sent, right? It's an invoice alteration attack. There's a million different variants of it because it's, again, born out of this criminal experience, so criminal sophistication and creativity. So what we're sort of seeing now is people have an innate sense of something seems wrong here, right? So what we're seeing is the people doing the transactions, they're interacting with the scammers or the con artists, or they're getting themselves sort of caught up in one of these scams. And then after they've made the transaction, they're thinking to themselves, something's a bit wrong about that. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. So that comes into the security culture of the organization not being punitive. And what I mean by that is, we need to support our staff. If a staff member feels like they're confident to raise their hand and say, hey, something weird happened, I think I might have just done something really bad or something wrong, without fear of punishment, they're much more likely to do that. And what we're seeing is that first initial 12, well, I would say 6 to 24 hours probably, is crucial in getting the funds returned back. So swift recovery orders, etc., like that take a bit of time. So if a staff member feels that the security culture in their company enables them to put their hand up and say something strange just happened without fear of retribution on themselves, then the company is much more likely to get the money back. So I think, yeah, that sort of open and honest dialogue with staff is, if you think something's gone wrong, please tell us, rather than trying to hide it, is key.
Now, why do technical solutions only go so far, and what business processes should be adopted as a defensive step?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because so I think back to, I hosted a lunch many years ago with some C-levels, and one of the questions from one of the participants was, I've spent X million dollars on my security program, and I'm still getting these damn phishing emails through. What are we doing wrong? And it's it comes down to it's humans attacking humans. We can help you, obviously, companies like Secureworks, we can help you with the technical protections against security problems. We can help you with detecting the attacks and that sort of stuff. That's all that we do. We can help you with that sort of stuff. But when it's a human trying to attack a human to get in, it is very hard to detect technically. And that's where we're seeing more and more bad guys shift to. We're still seeing millions of attacks that we're detecting and blocking, but the bad guys are saying, well, okay, cool. We're bashing on the front door, trying to exploit servers and trying to send through, malicious software and that sort of stuff. But if I just email that one person, if I do a bit of LinkedIn research, a bit of, OSINT as we call it, and try and find the key person in the accounts payable department and send them a personal email, it's very hard to technically to detect that attack, which then comes back to that whole security culture organization. Is like, well, yes, I was involved in a conversation with this person for 2 weeks, but still, I probably shouldn't have sent them that $100,000. I'm feeling confident in raising your hand and saying, I might have done something wrong here.
Now, finally, what else can be done to protect employees?
Protecting employees is an interesting one where it's around. I think more and more I'm getting to the point where I'm sort of thinking that it's about employees understanding that they have a buy-in to the corporate security culture, right? It's about saying, hey, these are the problems, things like ransomware and BEC and all of these things that we deal with daily here at Secureworks. Those are big existential problems for a business. But I think it's getting all the staff members involved in saying, apart from just compliance training, because everyone just goes next on compliance training, right? We have to do this, so we just do it because we have to do it. But I think it's sort of saying, hey, you do have a part to play in protecting this company and therefore your job. I think, fair enough, the IT department and the security department has to take a lot of the onus on protecting the staff from themselves, as it were. But I think helping staff understand, hey, you've got a part of this. We can all work together to help this stop happening and to help this business not become a victim. So therefore, obviously, we're not talking about everyone has to have a role in making the business thrive. That's individual jobs. But to protect the business, I think we all have our own buy-in as part of that process.
Awesome. Well, it's been great to learn more about Secureworks and what your recommendations are for businesses to protect themselves. It's been a pleasure having you on the Jam, Alex. We look forward to hearing more from Secureworks very soon.
Look forward to talking to you again. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.